Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. So this is my review for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. It just dropped on Amazon a few days ago. I got a chance to check it out, and this is a soft remake, sort of the 2005 film that came out starring Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. This one stars Maya Erskine and Donald Glover. This is a series that is sort of like a soft remake of the film. So it's not like a full-blown remake like of the actual plot of the film, but it's taking a lot of elements. Like it's very much sort of like a spin-off sort of that film. But going into it, I hadn't seen the film, so I knew the premise, but I didn't know what to expect really going in. I knew that it wasn't a remake, but or like a full remake, but I basically knew the premise. It was like about a spy couple that's married, right? Something like that. But yeah, I will try to keep spoilers light, by the way. I'm going to try my best to avoid spoilers. But if I do spoil something, they will be light because this isn't a very spoiler-heavy show. But anyway, so yeah, getting into it, I was quite excited for this show because I did see the trailers. I love Donald Glover. Atlanta, obviously, and Swarm are two great shows that came out within the last few years. And I was very excited for this. I hadn't heard of Maya. Well, I'd heard of her from Pen 15, but I hadn't seen it, so I hadn't really seen anything else. But so yeah, I assume she'd be good going into it because obviously everybody, the early reactions for the show were saying they have great chemistry. But I was a little bit disappointed because this was originally supposed to star Donald Glover and Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who obviously is made very famous from Fleabag, which I love. I adore that show so much. But yes, I was a little bit disappointed when I heard that she dropped out and that she was being replaced. But having seen the show, I honestly don't think it would have worked as well with Phoebe Waller-Bridge rather than Maya Erskine. I think she does such a terrific job, which I will get into. But yeah, so the basic premise of the show is that there are these two spies who get paired up basically to be married and work together as a couple in order to complete missions as sort of a unit. And the way that it's done is really creative. I like the way that we don't really see the head of the organization. We don't even see them personalized. It's just a little message from someone that they call Hi Hi, which we see the other couple call Soup. It's obviously everybody's got a different name because nobody really knows anything about the organization. But yeah, the show is basically an exploration of marriage through this lens of spies. And I absolutely loved it. I thought this was fantastic. It's my favorite show so far of 2024. I just loved it. I didn't think it was going to be a binge, actually. I was planning to review it week to week. But once it came out as a binge, I was like, okay, I'm just going to binge all this in 2 days and then hopefully get a review out if I end up watching it in time, which I did, and I loved it. And I'm very excited to be talking about it. But yeah, as well as the amazing story of the show, which centers around, again, marriage and, you know, the ins and outs of being a couple, which, you know, go around like dating, divorce, you know, wanting kids, couples therapy, things like that, all explored through this lens of being a spy. And it's all done very, like, in a fun way, you know. The missions and the action in the show is so entertaining and so thrilling, and I really, really loved it. It's a bit of a slow burn at start, maybe some people would say, but I really enjoyed the first episode, and throughout, I just thought it was great throughout. The show has some epic guest stars, by the way, which I'm not going to spoil all of them, but I will give you a few. There's Michaela Cole, John Turturro, Paul Dano, Sharon Horgan, as well as a lot of others. So be expected to see a lot of really, really cool guest stars sprinkled throughout the show, which I didn't know was happening. I'm sure that was like a made public. I'm sure it was well known that they were in the show, but I didn't know. And so it was a very cool surprise to see all of them pop up. But yeah, I really loved it. I think these two have fantastic chemistry. I think Donald Glover and Maya Erskine are so talented, and they really pull something really special off with this show. And I had a ball watching it. I would love a season 2. Like, please, Amazon, give us a season 2. I mean, there's so much more to explore with this story as well. It's not like the show sort of ends on a little bit of a cliffhanger, and so, well, a pretty big cliffhanger actually. And so I think that a season 2 is warranted and probably expected. I think the people making the show would expect to get a season 2 ending it like that, like, because if this was a limited series, that ending would be kind of unsatisfying. But expecting a season 2, it's very satisfying because it makes you very excited for what's going to happen. But yeah, as well as the amazing, you know, couple dynamics and like exploration of marriage, there is some epic action and real spy thriller shit. I mean, it's awesome. Even the first episode, I just thought was so fantastic. The way they were so frantically like running after this package, and I love the way they progress as spies throughout the show goes. Like, their start is sort of like inexperienced spies. Like, they are spies, right? Like, they obviously, she's like was nearly in the CIA and he was in the military. So they do have some skill base, but not necessarily as spies and not together. And so watching them learn to work together throughout the show is such a joy to watch. Like, truly, it was so fun. The entire like sequence around the package was awesome. And then when they deliver it and they're like, what the hell, all that for delivering a package, and the house fucking explodes. I mean, that was crazy. And also, it was a really cool way of showing like how dangerous it is, because they did take the high risk setting. Obviously, in the throughout the show, there's like a sort of conversation about how their level of spy is high risk rather than extremely high risk or low risk. And they're like, why are we so high risk? And then after they leave the house with the cake, it fucking explodes, which is crazy. And it shows how they could have died so easily because the woman in the house offers them a drink, and obviously the house fucking explodes like 10 seconds later. So if they'd stayed, that would have been crazy. But anyway, the show is incredible. Go check it out if you haven't. It's on Prime. It's an amazing exploration of marriage through this lens of spies. And it's got some amazing action. It's got some amazing emotional moments. That final episode is so beautiful, especially the end of it. Like, I was nearly in tears. It's amazing. So anyway, that's my review for Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Go check it out right now. It's on Amazon Prime. Prime Video. All episodes are streaming right now, so go check it out. Leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I want to know, did you guys like the show? Are you going to watch it? Let me know. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.